Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day we stop making excuses. Today is the day we take ownership of our lives. No more waiting. No more blaming. No more someday. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to do the work for you. If you want to change your life, you have to take control right now. We all have a past. We all have struggles. Life knocks us down, and sometimes it feels impossible to get back up. But let me tell you something, pain is temporary, and excuses are a choice. You can sit in self-pity, or you taking ownership of your life is the first and most important step in rebuilding it. Too often, people get stuck in a cycle of blaming their past, their upbringing, their circumstances, or even other people for where they are in life. But the hard truth is this: no one is coming to save you. No one is going to fix your life for you. If you want change, it has to come from you. The moment you accept full responsibility for your actions, decisions, and future, you regain control over your life. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that life is unfair, that the odds are stacked against you, or that you were dealt a bad hand. And maybe all of that is true. Maybe you had it harder than most. Maybe you face setbacks that others can't even imagine. But here's the thing, life doesn't care. The world keeps moving forward, whether you're ready or not. You can either stay stuck in the past, dwelling on what went wrong, or you can take ownership of your future and decide that no matter what, you're going to do whatever it takes to turn things around. Owning your life means accepting that where you are right now is a direct result of the choices you've made. That's not an easy thing to admit. It's far more comfortable to blame other people or outside factors. But when you do that, you give away your power. When you blame the economy, your boss, your family, or bad luck, you're essentially saying, I have no control. And that mindset will keep you stuck forever. The only way to truly rebuild your life is to take back control by taking full responsibility. This doesn't mean beating yourself up over past mistakes. It doesn't mean carrying guilt or regret for things you can't change. It means looking at yourself honestly and saying, okay, I may not be responsible for everything that happened to me, but I am 100% responsible for what I do next. That's the key, what you do next. People who take ownership of their lives don't waste time making excuses. They don't sit around waiting for the perfect conditions or for someone else to fix things. They take action. If they don't have the skills they need, they learn them. If they're in a toxic environment, they change it. If they fail before, they get back up and try again. They don't let circumstances dictate their future. They dictate their own future by refusing to quit. Taking ownership also means being brutally honest with yourself. Where have you been making excuses? Where have you been avoiding responsibility? Maybe you keep saying you don't have time, but in reality, you waste hours every day on social media or watching TV. Maybe you keep saying you don't have opportunities, but you haven't really put in the effort to create them. Maybe you say you want change, but deep down you're afraid of the work it requires. Taking ownership means facing these uncomfortable truths and deciding to change them. It also means letting go of the victim mindset. Bad things happen. People hurt us. Life isn't always fair. But dwelling on those things doesn't help you move forward. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. And when you take ownership, you shift from a mindset of helplessness to a mindset of empowerment. You start seeing challenges as opportunities to grow instead of obstacles that hold you back. Rebuilding your life is not about waiting for the perfect time or wishing things were different. It's about deciding right now that you will take full responsibility for your actions, choices, and future. No more blaming, no more excuses, no more waiting. The power is in your hands. It always has been. Now it's time to use IT.AN, rise up and do something about it. The only person standing between you and your potential is you. Eliminating excuses is one of the most powerful things you can do to rebuild your life. Excuses are easy to make and they often feel justified. We tell ourselves that we don't have enough time, that we don't have the right opportunities, that we're too tired, too old, too young, or too to change. We convince ourselves that our circumstances are too difficult or that success is only for people who got lucky. But the truth is, Excuses are nothing more than a defense mechanism, a way to avoid responsibility, discomfort, and effort. They keep us trapped in the same cycle of inaction, preventing us from making real progress. One of the most common excuses people use is that they don't have enough time. But if you take an honest look at your daily routine, you'll likely find hours wasted on distractions. How much time do you spend scrolling through social media, watching TV, or engaging in mindless activities? The reality is you make time for what truly matters to you. If rebuilding your life is important, you will find the time. Wake up earlier, cut out distractions, and prioritize what truly moves you forward. Successful people don't magically have more hours in the day, they just use their time differently. Another excuse people often fall back on is the idea that they don't have the right resources. They say they can't start a business because they don't have money, they can't get fit because they don't have a gym membership, or they can't learn a new skill because they don't have the right tools. But the truth is, we live in a time where knowledge and opportunities are more accessible than ever. If you don't have money, you can learn to budget, save, or find ways to earn extra income. If you don't have a gym, you can work out at home. If you don't have access to traditional education, you can learn almost anything online for free. The problem isn't a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. When you stop making excuses, you start finding solutions. Many people also blame their past for their current situation. They use past failures, traumas, or disadvantages as reasons why they can't move forward. While it's true that some people start with more advantages than others, life is not about where you start, it's about what you do with what you have. Countless successful people have come from nothing, faced extreme adversity, and still found a way to rise. What separates them from those who stay stuck? They refuse to let their past define their future. Instead of using their hardships as an excuse, they use them as motivation. They turn their pain into fuel, proving that resilience and perseverance matter more than circumstances. Fear is another excuse that holds people back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, or fear of stepping outside of their comfort zone. But here's the truth, failure is part of success. Every person who has achieved something great has failed along the way. The difference is that they didn't let failure stop them. They learned from it, adjusted, and kept moving forward. The people who stay stuck are the ones who let fear control them. They make excuses instead of taking risks, and in the end, they regret not trying at all. At some point, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be the person who always has an excuse, or do you want to be the person who makes that new? Every time you make an excuse, you give away your power. You tell yourself that you are not in control, that external forces are running your life. But when you eliminate excuses, you take that power back. You realize that you have the ability to change your situation no matter where you're starting from. No one is saying the journey will be easy. Rebuilding your life takes effort, discipline, and sacrifice. But it is possible as long as you stop making excuses. The moment you let go of every reason why you can't and start focusing on how you can, your entire life will change. So stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop blaming your circumstances. Stop giving yourself an easy way out. Get up, take action, and prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. Developing discipline over motivation is one of the most important steps in rebuilding your life. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. One day you wake up feeling energized, ready to take on the world, and the next, you don't feel like doing anything. If you rely on motivation alone, you'll never be consistent. And without consistency, there is no real progress. That's why discipline is the key. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. It's what separates those who succeed from those who make excuses. Many people wait for motivation before they take action. They say, I'll start when I feel ready, or I just need to find the motivation. But waiting for motivation is like waiting for perfect weather to start a journey you'll never get anywhere. Successful people understand that action comes before motivation, not the other way around. The more you take action, the more motivation follows. But if you wait for motivation first, you'll never start. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even on the days when you don't feel like it. Building discipline starts with small daily habits. It's about making a decision and sticking to it, no matter what. If you decide to wake up early, you don't hit the snooze button. If you commit to working out, you show up whether you're in the mood or not. If you decide to improve your skills, you put in the time every day, no excuses. Discipline is about showing up again and again, even when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Over time, these small actions add up and become part of who you are. One of the biggest misconceptions about discipline is that it means forcing yourself to do things you hate. But that's not true. Discipline is about committing to your goals and pushing past temporary discomfort for long-term success. And think about an athlete training for a championship. They don't always enjoy the early morning workouts, the strict diet, or the exhausting drills. But they do it anyway because they know the reward is worth it. The same applies to anyone trying to rebuild their life. The process may not always be fun, but the results will be worth it. Another key to developing discipline is removing distractions and temptations. If you constantly put yourself in situations where it's easy to fall back into bad habits, you're making things harder for yourself. If you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in your house. If you're trying to focus on your goals, limit your time on social media. Discipline is not just about willpower. It's about creating an environment that makes it easier to stay on track. Accountability is another powerful tool in developing discipline. When you hold yourself accountable or have someone else hold you accountable, you're more likely to follow through. Set goals and track your progress. Write down what you need to do each day and check it off. If possible, find a mentor, a coach, or a friend who will push you to stay committed. When you have someone expecting you to show up, it's much harder to make excuses. The truth is, discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you develop. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. At first, it will be difficult. Your mind will resist looking for any excuse to avoid discomfort. But the more you push through, the easier it becomes. What once felt impossible becomes second nature. Rebuilding your life requires commitment, and commitment requires discipline. You won't always feel motivated, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you keep going. When you make discipline a habit, you gain control over your life. You stop being a slave to your emotions and excuses. You become someone who does what needs to be done no matter what. And that is how true transformation happens. Using pain as fuel is one of the most powerful ways to rebuild your life. Pain is inevitable. Everyone goes through struggles, failures, and hardships, but the difference between those who rise and those who stay stuck is how they respond to pain. Some people let it break them, while others use it as motivation to become stronger. The truth is, pain can either destroy you or drive you. It's your choice. When you shift your mindset and start seeing pain as fuel instead of an obstacle, you unlock a level of strength and resilience you never knew you had. Many people spend their lives running from pain. They try to numb it, distract themselves, or pretend it doesn't exist. But ignoring pain doesn't make it go away. It only makes it worse. The longer you avoid facing your struggles, the more power they have over you. Instead of running from pain, embrace it, use it. Let it remind you why you need to change, why you need to push harder, why you can't afford to stay the same. Pain is a signal that something needs to change, and if you listen to it, it can guide you toward growth. Think about the greatest success stories. Most of them didn't come from comfort or privilege. They came from struggle, from hardship, from people who were told they weren't good enough, smart enough, or strong enough. They came from people who faced rejection, failure, and loss, but refused to let those things define them. Instead of giving up, they used their pain as fuel. They let their struggles drive them to work harder, train longer, and push further than anyone else. They turned their pain into power. Pain also teaches you valuable lessons that comfort never could. When everything is easy, you don't grow. You don't develop resilience or mental toughness. But when you go through struggles, you learn what you're really capable of. You learn how to keep going when things get tough. You learn that you are stronger than you thought. Every challenge, every setback, every failure is an opportunity to learn and improve. If you adopt this mindset, pain becomes your greatest teacher. One of the best ways to use pain as fuel is to turn it into a reason to push forward. If you've ever felt rejected, use that as motivation to prove to yourself that you're capable. If you've ever been broke, use that pain to work harder and build a better future. If you've ever been out of shape and insecure, Use that discomfort as energy to train and transform your body. Instead of letting pain make you feel powerless, use it to take back control. Another key to using pain as fuel is remembering your why. When things get hard, when you feel like quitting, remind yourself why you started in the first place. Maybe you want to prove people wrong. Maybe you want to give your family a better life. Maybe you want to break free from past struggles and create a new future. Whatever your reason is, keep it at the front of your mind. Let it drive you. Let it push you forward when everything inside you wants to stop. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is a tool. It can make you stronger, tougher, and more determined if you let it. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never experience pain. They are the ones who refuse to let pain defeat them. They take every setback and turn it into fuel. They use every hardship as motivation. They understand that pain is part of the journey and that without it, growth isn't possible. So don't run from pain. Don't let it make you weak. Let it make you unstoppable. Take every ounce of struggle, every moment of doubt, and every failure and use it as fuel to push yourself further than you ever thought possible. Because at the end of the day, the pain you endure now will become the strength you rely on later. Taking action now is the most important step in rebuilding your life. Too many people spend their time thinking about change, planning for the perfect moment, or waiting until they feel ready. But the truth is, there is no perfect time. There's no magic moment when everything lines up just right. If you keep waiting, you will stay exactly where you are. The only way that you change your life is to take action right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel motivated. One of the biggest traps people fall into is overthinking. They analyze every possible outcome, worry about what might go wrong, and convince themselves they need more time. But overthinking leads to paralysis. The more you think, the less you do. The only way to break free from this cycle is to take action before your mind has a chance to talk you out of it. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start. Even if your first step is small, even if you make mistakes along the way, taking action is always better than doing nothing. Many people make excuses about why they can't start now. They say they don't have enough time, enough money, enough experience, or enough confidence. But the truth is, those are just stories they tell themselves to justify staying comfortable. The reality is, you will never feel completely ready. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. You build confidence by doing, by trying, by failing, and by learning. The sooner you start, the sooner you grow. Another common excuse people make is that they need to wait for the right opportunity. They believe that one day everything will fall into place and they will know it's time to act. But opportunities don't just appear out of nowhere. They are created through action. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who sit around waiting for the right moment. They are the ones who take action despite uncertainty. They take risks, make mistakes, adjust, and keep moving forward. Taking action doesn't mean you have to make huge changes overnight. It means doing something today that moves you closer to your goal. If you want to get in shape, don't wait until next Monday to start working out. Do a workout today. If you want to start a business, don't wait until you have the perfect plan. Take the first step, even if it's small. If you want to improve your skills, don't wait until you find the perfect course. Start learning now with the resources you already have. One of the most powerful things you can do is break your goals down into small, manageable steps. Big goals can feel overwhelming, and that's why so many people never start. But if you focus on just one step at a time, it becomes much easier. Instead of thinking about losing 50 pounds, focus on eating a healthy meal today. Instead of worrying about making $1 million, focus on earning your first dollar. Action builds momentum, and once you get moving, it becomes easier to keep going. The hardest part of anything is starting, but once you take that first step, everything else becomes easier. Your mind will try to convince you to wait. It will come up with excuses. It will tell you that you're not ready. Ignore it. Take action anyway. Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you want is action. No more waiting, no more overthinking, no more excuses. Start now. Because every second you delay is a second you could have spent moving forward. The time will pass anyway. The question is, will you use it to build the life you want, or will you stay stuck where you are? The choice is yours. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people is one of the most important factors in rebuilding your life. The people you spend the most time with have a huge impact on your mindset, habits, and overall success. If you're constantly around negative, unmotivated, or toxic individuals, it becomes nearly impossible to grow. But if you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, disciplined, and focused on self-improvement, you will naturally elevate your own standards. Your environment shapes you more than you realize, and the quickest way to change your life is to change the people you allow into it. One of the hardest truths to accept is that some of the people closest to you may be holding you back. This could be friends, family members, or co-workers who don't believe in you, who discourage your ambitions, or who make you feel guilty for wanting more. They may not even do it intentionally, but their negative energy, bad habits, and limiting beliefs will slowly drag you down. If you're constantly surrounded by people who complain, make excuses, or settle for mediocrity, you will eventually start doing the same. That's why it's crucial to be selective about who you let into your life. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who have a strong work ethic, a positive mindset, and a relentless drive to succeed, you will naturally start to adopt those traits. These are the people who push you to be better, who challenge your excuses, and who hold you accountable. They don't let you stay comfortable. They push you outside of your limits. Being around growth-minded people forces you to level up because you don't want to be the weakest link in the group. Their energy, ambition, and success will inspire you to work harder and aim higher. One of the best ways to find growth-minded individuals is to actively seek out environments where they gather. This could mean joining a mastermind group, attending networking events, or getting involved in communities focused on self-improvement. Surrounding yourself with the right people doesn't always mean cutting off old relationships entirely. It means making a conscious effort to spend more time with those who challenge and inspire you. If you don't currently have access to successful or highly motivated people in your immediate environment, that's okay. You can still surround yourself with their influence through books, podcasts, and online communities. Learning from successful individuals, even if you don't know them personally, can still have a massive impact on your mindset. Read the books of great leaders, listen to motivational speakers, and study the habits of high achievers. The more you absorb their knowledge and perspective, the more you will start thinking and acting like them. Important part of surrounding yourself with growth-minded people is being someone who also brings value to others. If you want to be around winners, you have to act like a winner. Be the type of person who uplifts, encourages, and challenges those around you. Support others in their growth, share valuable insights, and be a positive force in their lives. Relationships should be a two-way street where both people help each other grow. When you consistently provide value, you will naturally attract other ambitious and driven individuals into your life. Your environment will either fuel your growth or hinder it. If you want to rebuild your life, start by evaluating the people around you. Ask yourself, do they inspire me? Do they challenge me? Do they push me to be better? If the answer is no, it's time to make a change. Seek out people who will help you become the best version of yourself. Because the truth is, success is not just about what you do, it's also about who you choose to surround yourself with.